I've had my own sister be demonically possessed. I've had my own brother. I've seen my own mother be demonically possessed. I've seen demonic possession in lots of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm a high level empath. Very, 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 very high level. I pick up on everything. Everything. So when I meet somebody, I don't just meet them, I meet their energy. Every aspect of their energy. I know their drives as a human being. I know the spells that they're under. I know the demons that they carry. Right? And I know,
what do I carry? Which ones do I carry?
For questions, comments, and to show your support, visit us on the web at afroempath.com. Now, some of her demons were created by her being born or just into a fucked up world. I understand that. Yeah. But they still need to be handled by you as an individual. Nobody outside yourself can handle them, really outside yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it still has to be your will. And I remember she got on here. One of the things that kind of alarmed me, she got on here and she was talking about, oh, I want to have sex. You know, like, you know, with, you know, kind of, you know, she's an older, you know, woman in her 50s. I'm not saying women in her 50s shouldn't want to have sex, but she's like, you know, maybe with one guy, you know, maybe with two.
Oh, I was there. You know I was there.
I was thinking to myself, well, she's like, well, that's just my goddess energy. No, bitch, your goddess energy, bitch, shut the fuck up. You barely are even in touch with your own goddamn soul. What it is that you want to experience pleasure right now because you're scared and you don't want to experience pain because you might have to be introspective and face yourself and face the fact that you've become a coward. You know what I'm trying to say? And you've given into your demons and have become a fucking coward. So it's like, when I hear type shit like that, what it is that they want their demonic energy to be accepted by you. You know what I'm trying to say? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
As if it's cool. I mean, ultimately it's cool. You can do what the fuck you want to do. But like, then she talked about defending the homosexual agenda and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, and it's like I had to fight her on that and fight her on this and fight. It's like, ultimately what I learned is that, like, this is what empaths do a lot. We fuck up. We fuck up. We try and fix people. You know what I'm trying to say? Get them to where they need to be. When we really should just be bringing people into our lives who are at the same place as us. More, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So, now I don't have a problem helping you get to where I'm at if you're going to pay me. You can listen to my podcast for free. You know what I'm trying to say? But I mean, I'm not going to have you as in someone in my own inner circle, so you can feed off my fucking love and my soul, and give me nothing in return because you're not in touch with your own God spark, and you're afraid of pain. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So if you're I gave a 5-step process: knowledge, action, pain, introspection, and wisdom. So you have pain. If you don't have time for if you don't take time for introspection, you don't meditate, and you don't. This is a quote I learned from that brother Leonard. He said, talking about narcissistic. He's talking about narcissistic women in general, but narcissists in general. He said, if I don't know how to take care of myself, then I will absolutely hold you accountable for taking care of me. Does that make sense?
That's true. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. So that's what she did when she left here and she sent me that message. You know, it's like she must have thought in her mind. She called me a fraud, whatever. She must have thought in her mind that it's my responsibility, right, to take care of her fucking ass. To deal with her own inner demons, right? And it's not.
Because she finally found somebody to listen, you know. So
yeah, well, I listened to her out of concern, out of care, and I did care for her, right? And I would have talked to her. But when you don't want to listen to what I have to say, that's not a relationship that's equal and fair. You know what I'm trying to say? That's the thing. I'm trying to say this whole lesbian agenda, this whole just do what the fuck you want agenda. Ultimately, part of it is to keep black women from fucking listening to righteous men of God. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah.
Because the white man needs you to have demons. You know what I'm trying to say? The white man doesn't require you, and this world doesn't require you to heal fully. You know what I'm trying to say?
No way.
Exactly. Now she can go and pay a white therapist to listen to her every day and never really get to the bottom of her issue, which is really demonic possession. Her issue really is demonic possession. The reason why she has addiction to sweets and sugar and smokes so much weed is because she's demonically possessed, and those demons need to be fed. And in her heart needs to, the love of her heart can never be allowed to shine and never be allowed to be dealt with. So she's suppressing and feeding. She's suppressing her love and feeding her demons, right? And I would confront her demons. And a demon can't be humble and listen.
No,
that's exactly it. So in the Bible, Christ says that you have to, in order to, you have to be humble like a child. You know what I'm trying to say? And she's lost that. Her inner child is completely controlled by the demonic entity that has possession of her. So I'm not going to spend my energy to fight that. You know what I'm trying to say? Because what am I getting in return? I'm willing to fight for you, and you know, I mean, in terms of our relationship personally, you know what I'm trying to say? You know that with me, I'm willing to fight for you. You know what I'm trying to say? But it's because you're not giving up on the process. You know what I'm trying to say? You could have given up. You've had moments. You've had moments yourself where you've had demons say to you that, oh, this guy he's manipulating you. He's using you. Exactly.
He's using magic on you.
Exactly. Bingo. Meanwhile, these are the same demonic entities that are keeping you away from experiencing love in your life.
I know.
Exactly. And so the last thing I said to you is, I said, you're letting your demons win. That's the last thing I ever said to her.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Absolutely.
She didn't say anything.
She said what she said was like, I share my demons with you, as if it's some great gift to give to me.
Oh no. That's what she said?
Yeah, she said I shared them with you, meaning I told her I went into a meditation with her, and I told her to open up her heart, right? And I told her to release any anxiety or any kind of pain or anything negative in your heart. I said lay your woes down upon me in my heart, right? And she did. And for the next several weeks, I transmuted her pain, right? She was giving me nothing other than her anxiety and her demons, and I was transmuting them, right? And so I was learning them, and they were becoming weak. You know what I'm trying to say? And so when we got on the phone that day, I told you I had those demons in a fucking headlock. Meaning I had those demons under my fucking control, and I was at the point where I was gonna fucking squash them. You know what I'm trying to say? I was gonna end them. And you've seen that show, The Exorcist, right?
Yeah.
You see how when those demons get weak, that's when they're the most desperate. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's a constant fight. So it's the will of God versus the will of love versus the will of fear. And so you see the exorcists take place, and these demons have control over the host's bodies, right? And the priest or whatever has to get these people weak. You know what I'm trying to say? So they had to tie him up, and they gotta like break the will of the host's body and also the demons that have control of the host body, right? Because the demonic hosts feed off of fear. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they cannot live in an environment of peace. And all I did was I went and I took her demonic energy, I transmuted it, I had it weak, and I was going to get to the bottom of the issue. And all I wanted to do was create an environment of peace, right? And make that the norm for her when she got on here. I was going to tell her that when you get on here, sis, don't come on and right? I was gonna say don't do that when you come on here, right? And that would require her to be humble, and her demons to be humble, and her demons to listen to me, and her demons to listen and submit to me, right? And she couldn't have that, and that was it. That was all it took. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because
are you still going to use her footage on your?
No, I would never put it publicly. And to be honest, she's not a client of mine, right? So I don't feel bad sharing the story. You know what I'm trying to say? But it was something that I would share in private. You know what I'm trying to say? To explain how demonic entities work within people. You know what I'm trying to say? Because people might think that this is some some far out concept. You know what I'm trying to say? Some freakish like theory of mine. You know what I'm trying to say? That's unfounded. You know what I'm trying to say? But I need people to hear it. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you can listen to it and hear it. You know what I'm trying to say? There's something about it that's unnatural. You know what I'm trying to say? And
it is.
Exactly, it's unnatural, and you could easily.
Okay, go. Sorry.
You could easily ignore it. You could easily ignore it and just kind of be like, oh, well, maybe that's just. But your subconscious mind.
Like I would have and got caught in the web.
Bingo, exactly. Because your subconscious mind picks up on everything. Does that make sense? So your subconscious mind knew exactly the moment you heard her laugh like that she wasn't good. Exactly. There's a demonic energy there, demonic force there.
I thought she was high. That's what I thought.
No, even if you're high, you're not supposed to laugh like that. You know what I'm saying? So
that's true. Yeah.
Shit, I'm high. I'm happy as shit. I'm giddy as shit. You know, there's not a demonic entity that controls me. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to make is that like these demonic entities want you to accept them. Does that make sense? They want you to accept them into your lives and into your space, and to enter your heart. By loving her, you're loving her demons. You know what I'm trying to say? So I did is I separated her demons. I separated her demon from the little girl that she had attached to. Right, and that's why.
Let's not talk about her.
That's fine. So the Exorcist, right? The Exorcist, the movie The Exorcist.
Yeah, let's talk about the Exorcist. I want to hear
that little boy is a representation of the inner child. Does that make sense? Right.
Okay, I haven't watched it in a while, so
that's the first episode. The first episode. There's a little boy. He's in Mexico.
Oh yes.
And the priest has him attached to a bed, and the demonic entity has a host of this little boy, the little child, and that's what every demon sucks off of is the love of a child, a scared child, right?
Yeah.
And when you have these traumatic experiences in your life early on, right, and you give up on God at some point, that's it, man. That's a wrap, you know, because you're creating a vibration for these things to enter. That's it. That's what they need. They need some kind of hole in your aura to enter. Does that make sense? Some kind of gateway to feed from your soul.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, as a man of God, I have to be always consciously aware of the energies that I bring into my life. You know what I'm saying? And we cannot.
I'm the same way too.
And as empaths, we need to begin to learn that we cannot just accept any old buddy into our spaces and into our lives.
Oh yes,
you know what I'm trying to say? It's a very crucial thing for empaths to understand because I see a lot of women.
I tolerated her because she was coming through you. You know,
exactly. I understand that, and that's fine. Nice. And you did the right thing. But I'm saying you did the right thing. But all I'm saying is that this community is my baby. I don't allow anything harmful around my baby. Does that make sense? So I'm willing to deal with people so far as long as they're willing to listen and humbly and learn. A demonic entity is not willing to humble themselves. So that's gonna weed out who doesn't really belong. You know what I'm trying to say? Who's just trying to be a narcissist and be using our love energy for their own demonic gain. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah. I kind of forgot what I was saying.
So yeah, the show though.
Yeah.
What did you think of the show? Like, tell me how you felt watching it, what you noticed, what you can understand, what you identified with, what.
All right, so I want to go into the metaphysics of demonic possession and things like that. So, the host itself, so in the example of the Exorcist, right, the little boy, right? The little boy himself has the love of God, an inner child within him, or a soul within him, right? That has to have the will to fight back. Does that make sense? Himself. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
So you have the priest, or the holy man that's looking to get rid of the demons inside you, right? Then you have the demonic entity, which preys on the host vessel. right? And the host vessel's soul, right? The host vessel's soul has to be willing to fight the demonic host and even its own body. Does that make sense? And work with the priest or the holy man to get that entity the fuck out of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The experience I have with that sister, her will was not to fight with me, to work with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know.
That's exactly it. So that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
All she had to do was work with me and communicate with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we would have got rid of that together. I would have got rid of that with her, but she wasn't ready to. She was not ready to let go, and because she wasn't ready to let go of that, I couldn't do anything for her, and she would have dragged me down.
Yeah.
So part of me is just learning to get rid of my own guilt for that, because you see how in the freaking show, the priest he's kind of holding onto a certain level of guilt for losing that boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? And that kind of haunts him. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's kind of, as a healer, that's kind of how I feel. You know what I'm trying to say? Sometimes, like I see. Does that make sense? Meaning, I see the potential in these people, and their souls, not their bodies, but their souls, to serve God and to find peace again. And maybe I'm not saying she won't. You know what I'm trying to say? But she's not ready to do that with me. You know what I'm trying to say?
Not with you. Yeah.
Exactly. Not yet. Meaning that she wants to find it on her own time. That's fine. But the thing is that when you're around other people who have found it in their life, they're not going to accept you in that way. And and that's the thing. Like, of course, demonic entities want to be accepting, because what they're accepting you into is the demonic chaos that they have inside themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Exactly. And that goes into the topic we were speaking about before. You know what I'm trying to say? You know.
So what else do you think about? Well, it's only the one episode, but how do you feel about the show? Are you excited to watch more episodes?
Hell yeah, man! Hell yeah! I'm excited to watch.
You want to know more about the priest?
Hells yeah, man!
Okay, good.
I thought it was nice that also they had the little white girl there that was really the one that was demonically possessed in that house there.
Yes.
You'd be thinking that maybe it was her sister, because her sister was all withdrawn and you know, kind of kept to herself in the room and show that, you know.
Yeah.
But truthfully, it was a little happy, quote unquote, happy little white girl. And I was thinking about a lot of these happy little white girls. They do have demonic entities attached to them. You know what I'm saying?
They do, and I see it too.
Yeah, exactly. Bingo. They're happy because they're living in a white supremacist wonderland, and their demons are satisfied living in the world and eating sugars and eating sweets and playing out their little joke
around a lot, and
exactly. They're
free to do anything they
never
want.
They never have to be serious. They never have to deal with any real issues. You know what I'm saying? In the world.
Nope.
They're worldly. They're worldly and they're happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? And if you bring up, and you almost feel bad as a black person bringing up any goddamn issues that you deal with. You know what I'm trying to say around these people.
Yeah. It's true, because you think that you're gonna crush their little perfect world.
You crush their little worldly mentality. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't care about anything other than their own fantasy land. Their La La Land. They actually came out with a movie recently called La La Land.
I didn't watch that movie, and it got awards, but I never watched it. I don't know.
Yeah, it got awards for the same reason I'm talking about. It's another place for white people to escape reality. You know, while that movie came out, you know, all kinds of terrible shit were going on with black people, and what white people
it's true. Yeah,
they go to see Ryan Gosling in La La Land.
And that's probably why Jay-Z made that song La La Land. And it's a good song. Did you hear it?
No, I'll check it out.
No, we'll listen to at the same time that movie won awards.
Yep.
He came out with a song on his album called La La Land.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally different. Like, it's not like no happy-go-lucky song. It's basically reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, listen to the words of that song, La La Land, by Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. Jay-Z is actually next on the hit list.
Oh yeah? See now, gotcha. He also has a song called Moonlight too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, I haven't, and that was another agenda movie right there. The whole gay agenda movie, Moonlight.
When I watched it, I didn't know. So I watched it thinking, oh, I like this movie. This is very nice. Until the beach scene. And I was like, what the frig am I watching?
You didn't know it was gay agenda? Listen.
I did not know it had anything in there. Oh God!
Even as I saw the trailer, I knew. Here we go. Listen, I
didn't watch the trailer. I was sitting here one night. We needed something to watch. I put it on.
Oh, that's how they get you.
It was the most uncomfortable scene I had to watch. And you're sitting there with a guy watching this.
Oh.
And there's a guy jerk.
I didn't watch the movie. I don't want to hear that stuff.
Okay, I'm not saying nothing, but
you
didn't watch it? I didn't know.
I'm never gonna watch that. I'm never gonna watch that, man. Ever.
And the sad thing about it is, if it wasn't that, it's nicely shot.
Of course.
It's such a good movie. The actors are amazing in it.
Bingo. That's how they get you.
Good movie.
That's how they get you. Quality entertainment with a little bit of sickness.
Yeah.
A little bit of sickness now and a little bit of sickness later. And just eventually we're just going to kind of ease our agenda into your minds and into your souls.
Well, they did it. They did it in that one, and it made me feel very uncomfortable at that point.
Oh, yeah, I don't doubt it.
And I was pissed off at the guy in the movie because he was a punk. Well, to me, he was a punk, but to other people, they're saying, "Oh, it's love." No, he's a punk. What? Well, you're not gonna watch it, so
I'm not watching that. Shoot, hell no.
You could also forward the bad parts. There's only like that one major bad part, but
that's the thing with me. My tolerance level is damn near zero. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's why I am on such a spiritually enlightened vibration that I live on. You know what I'm trying to say? Like when you speak to me, you're speaking to someone that's firm. You know what I'm trying to say? In his faith.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Meaning I don't wane. What I am today is what I'm going to be tomorrow. And that should be.
So you don't really want to look at certain things because it might.
No, it's not. It's not
going to sway you.
It's not going to sway me. It's a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Because I see through all of it. And I see when you watch a movie, you're supposed to be relaxed, right?
Yeah.
And when you're relaxed and your brain waves are still, you know what I'm trying to say, almost like you're meditating, right? And you're lethargic and you're at your weakest, most vulnerable. That's when they allow these ideas to come into these programs, these spells to enter your mind. You know what I'm trying to say? So if I know that. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching the movie the whole time, not even comfortable because my mind's racing, like dissecting the agenda of how they're gonna play it out. I can't even care about the plot. I can't even focus on the plot because I'm focusing on the goddamn gay agenda plot behind the plot and how they're using a good plot line to make the plot of the gay agenda, which they're trying to push upon you, digestible. To your spirit.
Yeah, because they even put a guy in there, a black man that is actually caring about a young black guy in his community. So you're thinking, oh, this is such a nice thing to see, like an older guy caring about a younger guy. So there's good things in it, but then there's bad in it. But anyway, yeah, listen to La La Land, Jay-Z song, and The Exorcist. Exorcist is very good. I had a feeling you would like it because of what you talk about. That's why I kept telling you, watch it. And I knew you kind of didn't seem like you wanted to watch it. I don't think
see, normally speaking, I don't like horror movies or horror type things. But this is not because I'm scared. They just bore me. Because truthfully, being a black man in a white supremacist society is scary enough.
I know.
Yeah, true. I don't seeing ghosts and spirits and shit. That ain't shit. Okay, try being a black man. Try being a righteous black man, willing to fight this white supremacist system, right? And knowing you can be pulled over and killed by a cop at any moment in your life, right?
That's scary enough.
No, that's really scary enough. So am I impressed by some white girl running on the ceiling? No, I don't care. So it's just corny to me. But it's done. But the way it's done is a very good way where they are really touching on the metaphysics of it.
They are.
And that's what I like.
And I like the because Okay, have you met you so far you so now you've met both the priests and you see how they differ? Or
What
you
one
well,
one
I
one
guess
is kind of he he doesn't take demons seriously. Like
yes.
the we'll just call him the Spanish priest, whatever, or the you know,
Spanish guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he doesn't, he thinks that demons are kind of like like metaphors. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Kind of like a thing that people in the ancient world used to describe things that they couldn't understand. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because in the community that I have on Facebook, I do have people that are into psychology, you know, and there are because you know a lot of INFJs and INFPs get into that field of psychology, and so listening to this, they might think that demons, like, oh, is this these little whacked out? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, no, actually, no. Demons not only do they exist and can possess people, but they can easily be spotted if you're intuitive. If you're not just intuitive enough, but if you feel the underlying energy within people and see their eyes. And even if you really are if you're really deep in terms of your ability to exorcise demons, I've seen a demon. I've taken a demon out of another person, and I've seen that demon fly away from me and fly out my window. It was like a quick bolt, like zoom, just flew out like really fast. It was like a little plume of smoke. So yeah, no, I've seen it with my own eyes.
I haven't seen it, but I've felt it, and I felt it in a strip club too.
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately left.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been back in a strip club since that time. It just creeped me out.
No, I hear you. But yeah, so that the Spanish priest is that kind of guy where he still has a belief in God and he still has a belief in Christ, but for whatever reason, he thinks that demonic possession is kind of a little bit of a fairy tale that maybe the church in its infancy didn't quite understand how to, you know, put it in a psychological perspective. You know what I'm saying? Then you have another guy. The other guy is he's seasoned, and has he's like a spiritual war veteran. I'll just say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where he's dealing with really hardcore cases of demonic possession, and he's kind of telling the Spanish priest who's never dealt with this before because he's a new priest.
Yeah.
That essentially, you know, you're a bit in over your head. You know what I'm trying to say? Like maybe you shouldn't get into this world that we're in. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you're about to embark into something that is way beyond what you think you're going to encounter. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So you know, in the next scene, they kind of show him naively going in, into it was almost like a attic crawl space or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because he heard some sound, and he's, you know, I don't want to ruin the whole thing, but I mean, he was frightened by something, and that something turned out to be someone who he didn't expect to be up there. And then the next scene, it's all like nothing happened, and the girl just kind of played it off, and she was really sweet and just like a nice little white girl. You know what I'm trying to say? And that white girl's looking at, as he left, the white girl looked at her through the window. It was like, you know, like, don't come back here. You know what I'm saying? I got this family on lock, son. This is my turf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So basically it's the beginning of a spiritual war. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
And I haven't seen the second episode, but I know that a spiritual war is going to ensue there, and I think it's a good show for empaths to watch. I personally put it on my Facebook page, hoping that people will look at it. It
depends though. Some empaths might not be able to handle it, but it's good to watch though. It's good to watch. You know, like
Yeah, it's.
I can handle those kind of things, but I notice that some people get spooked easily from those things.
I mean, if you're a person that'll get nightmares for watching something scary, then don't watch it. If you know.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not gonna be like because I'm a man, but I don't. Me personally, I don't. That doesn't affect me like that. You know what I'm saying? Because number one, in my life I deal with actual people that are demonically possessed. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like, oh, cool. I get to see other people's experiences dealing with this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, empaths are earth angels. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an earth angel, by nature, you're a spiritual warrior. And if this world is controlled by forces that wish to see it continue, right? And fear the return of an angel that seeks to end it. They're going to look at you as if you're someone that needs to be controlled energetically, and they will unfortunately they will use people that are closest to you.
Yep.
And they will take, if those people have any kind of flaws in terms of maybe they have an addiction to weed or an addiction to drinking or a porn addiction or some just any kind of way for them to enter, and some kind of auric hole. You know what I'm saying? They will use those people who are close to you, especially, to hurt you. And you will see the energy in these people change and shift in a dramatic way that doesn't seem to quite make sense. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you've been loving to them your entire life. How could they ever be this way? You know? And it's meant to, in what it is they're trying, those demons are trying to get those people to hurt you and to say things that those people would never say normally. I've had my own sister be demonically possessed. I've had my own brother. I see my own mother be demonically possessed. I've seen demonic possession in lots of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm a high level empath. Very, 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 very high level. I pick up on everything. Everything. So when I meet somebody, I don't just meet them. I meet their energy. Every aspect of their energy. I know their drives as a human being. I know the spells that they're under. I know the demons that they carry. Right? And
what do I carry? Which ones do I carry?
Which ones you carry? You've already told me about them. You have the demons that are like, this person you're speaking to is too good to be true. He's going to use you. He's going to manipulate you. He's going to hurt you.
Oh, the demons that take me away from something good, basically.
Your demons are the self-sabotaging demons. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you've experienced some shitty people in your life. When you finally do meet someone that's not shitty, well, maybe it's better we just stay safe here. In demonic Comfortville, right? Does that make sense? You got a good thing going on here in your mind. Don't this guy is gonna try to lead you into something bad. You know what I'm trying to say? Right? All I'm doing is saying truth and allowing love into your life. You know what I'm trying to say? Exactly.
So my demons they're bad, but they're not like other people's demons might be. Like,
so your demons. See, the thing is that we all have demons, right? I had demons too, but the thing is that you have to actively fight your demons. Some people, they give in to the will of their demons. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the sister that we were speaking about before, she gave in to her demons. Does that make sense? She gave up. She mentioned herself. She mentioned that at a point in her life, she literally gave up on God and put her middle finger up and said, "Fuck you, God." You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So she gave up on God. So don't demons like that? You don't think demons like that? They're like, hell yeah, girl. We're riding with you now. All you need is us, baby. You know what I'm trying to say? So the thing is, you've never given up on God completely. You know what I'm trying to say? So you always have that seed of love. Love is still your center. Love is still your core. Right?
But I have to fight.
But that doesn't mean you don't have to fight. Exactly. But at the same time, I'm trying to say, at your core, your will is still God's will. Some people don't even know. Some people don't even know what God's will is. Does that make sense? Some people don't even know what God's will is at all. They're just swaying about the breeze of life, thinking about the Matrix, and I'd really like to have a house in Malibu. You know what I'm trying to say?
God.
But you know what I'm trying to say? But I'm just saying, like, I would really like to drive a, a Lexus. You know what I'm saying? I want a boyfriend that's, I want a boyfriend that's light skinned. I want to go with a white guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wonder what it's like to get butt fucked by a guy. You know, I'm just saying, these are thoughts that people actually have. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. So I'm saying, like, meaning they're so matrixed out that they never focus on what God's will is. It's not a factor in their lives. So they allow for other entities that see that the demons like you not to be centered, right? In God's plan, and it's the plan of His Son.
Yeah, they love it. They tap dance when
exactly, bingo. They're like, oh, word, oh, we got a willing host. She's nice and stupid, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use my sister as an example. She was the kind of person that when we used to pray at the table, my mom used to pray at the table. She would always say, "Don't say me." When it's time for her to, like, my mom would say, yo, yada yada yada. Pray for this, pray for him, and pray for her, and pray for. She, don't say me, don't say my name.
What?
Yeah, she didn't want anything to do with that.
Oh no.
Yes, bingo. And it could, yeah, exactly. And it could be because her own father had some terrible experiences with the church. He was Catholic, and you know how the Catholic Church does to boys. A lot of times.
Yeah.
Bingo. So there's now the church, especially the Catholic Church, has put all kinds of fear into people because they've become overtaken. They've probably been overtaken. I'm not going to say they've been overtaken from their inception, because truthfully, the religion did not come from them. Does that make sense? It's something that they inherited from us, right? And they took it over, and whatever spirit they had that was able to enter and take over, did. You know what I'm saying? It did. And so that church, especially in Rome, has been, generally speaking, a force of demonic controlled force in the world for quite some time now, and is to this present day. When you're paying your taxes, you're paying it partly to them. So, where was I speaking? But I was speaking about demons and how sometimes there are people that demons are the ruling force in their lives. And sometimes you speak to people who have demons, but God is still a ruling force in their life. You're trying to say, so there's a difference. With you, God is still a ruling force in your life. So you have the power to fight demons, right? So that's the thing. So I can work with you to fight your demons, but because it's your will is to serve God's will. That sister we mentioned before, her will was not she didn't know God's will. That was all new to her. You know what I'm trying to say? It was all new to her, and she was afraid to understand that. And it's a scary thing too. It's even scarier because, unfortunately, Europeans or white people have enslaved us and used our own shit on us. You know what I'm saying? So they've made it hard for black people to want to understand God's will, as if God is not something outside you. God is the causeless cause, which is love, right? You
have to take the initiative as a black person and understand shit, because you can't. That's the thing. Like, they split our minds up in fragments. Yeah. So you don't even know what the heck is. Bingo. If God is real. Some people don't believe in God. Some people believe, but you have to you got to put your foot down for your own self.
Bingo. That's exactly it. And I remember you mentioned, you said something to me that I haven't forgotten. I was thinking about it today. You said something to me like, you said, I think that these black people that are confused, that are like, with the images of the white Jesus type shit. It's like you said, it's as if they're waiting for white people to tell them that they painted our black Messiah white. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're gonna wait forever.
Exactly. Bingo. Exactly. It's like they're waiting for white people to tell them the truth that they stole our history. And
that paint that picture.
That's exactly it. Yeah, they took it from us. They took. Not only did they take religion from us, obviously, they took science from us. They took math from us. They took painting from us, art from us. They took navigation from us. They took shipbuilding from us. They took clothes building from us. They took how to freaking, eat at a table and have table manners from us. Everything that they know came from us. So you don't think religion? You don't think religion is part of that?
I know.
You need to take it. You need to take it all back. You need to take it all back. I'm talking to black people right now. You know what I'm trying to say? Because
even if you don't know all that knowledge, you should still try to. You should see. I don't know. Even if you don't know the truth.
Yeah, but I'm saying that. But what white people want to create is that white people want to create a world where they are the ones that created that they're the ones that created the arts. They're the ones that created the sciences. They're the ones that created math and algebra. They're the ones that created all the things they've created, right? And they're the masters of, right? And you need those tools to survive in this world, which is their world, right? And as long as you have that, you'll survive. So what do you, all this God stuff? Well, shit, I don't need that shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Because then they like to have you think that they created that too, and who's going to want to see now? Getting a good education that's in a European school will be beneficial to you, but getting a good European religion is not going to be beneficial to you. Does that make sense?
No,
exactly. But finding your own religious traditions, you see, black people don't know where they came from. So they're not gonna, a lot of this whole Moorish stuff in terms of us being Moors and being in Europe and giving them this knowledge is hidden, is covered up. So unless you humble yourself and really dig deep into the archives of history, you're not gonna find black people in cultures where they're centered in God and in Christ. You know what I'm trying to say? Other than maybe, yeah, exactly. So some black people know that the Ethiopians were the original Hebrews. You know what I'm trying to say? But even that's not enough to sway them. But they don't realize is that we've had lots of civilizations where we were Christians and we were Jews, or we were Jews and we were Christians and we were Muslims. You know what I'm trying to say? Before we fell. So it's like black people, their minds have been like you said, sectionalized, compartmentalized. You know what I'm trying to say? Where it's easier to just kind of paint these little white polka dots in your face and be like, I don't know, I'm just tribal. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I worship the spirits and the grass and the I like herbs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? Herbs are not going to get your ass out of the goddamn world, bitch.
No.
The earth itself is still part of the matrix. The earth is the first matrix. Before the white man ruled us, this still wasn't our home. Right? Now there's some herbs that can heal you. There's some herbs that'll fucking kill you. You know what I'm trying to say? But the earth is still not something to be worshipped. You know what I'm trying to say? The earth is not supposed to be worshipped. The earth is still a consciousness that wants to get out of here too. You know what I'm trying to say? If the earth has a soul, or if the earth has a spirit, it wants to leave too. You know what I'm trying to say? So don't think that nature is something that needs to be worshipped, because people get into this whole, and it talked about in the Exorcist show about the Wiccan religion, whatever, where now I don't know that much about it, but from the little bit I do know, I think that I've found that they've worship nature. You know what I'm saying?
They do. I have a Wiccan book.
Yeah.
And they do.
Okay, well, the thing is, the nature, that means you worship this world. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I knew, nature is still part of the earth, right? In this world? This world is... Yeah, exactly. So that's still part of the matrix. Meaning a flower...
You shouldn't worship
exactly.
But you should...
respect it.
Yeah, respect and work with it.
Exactly. Bingo. Exactly. Yeah. Bingo. That's exactly it. But the point I'm trying to make is that the earth is still in the matrix, meaning it still has polarities. Meaning it's not just good. It's also evil and fucking disgusting and twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like I love animals, but I've seen on damn National Geographic a fucking gorilla eating a fucking baby deer alive, man. That shit was horrifying. Horrifying to watch. This little baby fawn screaming and crying as it's being eaten alive by a gorilla. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So I'm sorry, nature is not going to be worshipped by me. Fuck that. I've seen in the insect kingdom some nasty shit.
It has a wild side. Yeah, it has a wild side to it.
It's not perfect. It's not perfect. What I'm saying is that God is perfect. What we're calling God in the Kabbalion, right? They call it the causeless cause, which is love.
But you know what this is? This all spreads from is because people they want to see something. They want to see God.
They want something to hold on. They want something tangible. Exactly.
Yeah. And if you can't see it, you can't touch it.
Yeah.
Then it's
must
not
not exist.
really
Yeah, exactly.
there.
So
That causes a lot of problems.
exactly. So I always ask people. I said, "Well, you can't see love. Does love not exist?" But yeah, I'm just the point I'm just saying is that like you know, these a lot of these religions or these spiritual systems, you know what I'm trying to say, that are not focused on the eternal, which you know what I'm trying to say, the eternal, meaning your own soul. You know what I'm trying to say, which is the seed of the eternal God, which exists within you, which the Messiah or whatever you want to call it, whatever tradition you have, whether that's damn Horus or Christ or damn Krishna, or whatever the hell it is, whatever pantheon you believe in, that whatever Godhead that comes back down to earth is supposed to free your souls from this world. That eternal part of you is the part of you that keeps you centered and being in the world but not of the world. So when you don't have a foundation in the eternal, you can easily get lost in the finite. You know what I'm trying to say? And that allows for demonic entities to come in. So in the show, they had the girl that was kind of dabbling in the whole Wiccan thing, and then to try to make her seem as if maybe she could be the target, but it wasn't the other girl that was actually the target. You know what I'm trying to say, for the demonic hosts. But the point is that still that demonic hosts will find people that don't know, that haven't found the love of the eternal God within them. And I've experienced that here with a sister that we've spoken about earlier that didn't understand that and was afraid of that, and had unfortunately given way to the Eurocentric version of that, and didn't take the time to research on her own and believe what white people told her, and because of it, lived a fear-based reality where she was feeding her demons that she hadn't resolved. So ultimately, we need to get back to meditation and get in tune with our own hearts and our own souls. You know, so we can find peace, and so we won't be led astray by these demonic entities, which are real, and play a part in our life on a daily basis. You know, if we're wise enough to see it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I mean,
when are you gonna watch the next episode?
I mean,
tonight.
okay, I can watch it tonight. Yeah, sure, I can watch it tonight. I don't mind. I mean.